Hello, my name is Neli York Jones, and this is my action research on culturally responsive teaching practices, multi-modular strategies. This presentation will review the following. The purpose of my action research, the problem and research question will be identified. I will explain what methodology was used to conduct the research. I will provide you with an analysis of the data that I collected, and I will end it with my conclusion. The purpose of this mixed method study was to conduct action research to examine what multi-modular instructional strategies can effectively support the needs of African American learners. I gathered teacher perceptions to determine what effective instructional practices can be used to remove obstacles that impacted the learning for African American students. The problem statement is that African American children continue to be impacted by inadequate instructional practices that have resulted in an achievement gap. This has led to disengagement in learning and lacking a sense of belonging. When traditional teaching approaches are used for these students, it oftentimes creates barriers in learning. My research question was, what multi-modular strategies can teachers use effectively to create an inclusive environment where the diverse needs of all learners are met? I used a mixed method study to collect quantitative and qualitative data on teacher perception as it relates to the usage of evidence-based multi-modular instructional strategies within the classroom. I wanted to identify which multi-modular instructional strategies teachers perceive as being the most effective for diverse learners. For my study, there were 4 female teachers who participated. All of the teachers had more than 13 years of teaching experience, and all of them worked at the Title I school in Southern California. For data collection, I used a 17-question survey, which included both open and closed-ended questions. After analyzing the data, here were the key findings. All teachers agreed that students' emotions are greatly influenced on how effective instruction is. Gradual release was a strategy that was perceived by all teachers as a way to build student confidence because teachers were able to provide just enough support so that students can learn to work independently. Blended learning was also a strategy that they identified as improving engagement because students had access to interactive video games and quizzes. When it came to inclusive practices, it was clear that some of the teachers had a limited understanding of how it was tied to universal design for learning principles and differentiation. All teachers agreed that closed reading was an effective approach, but they voiced concerns that some challenges they faced were students not being able to decode the passages, and students oftentimes became bored because of the repeated reading of the same passage. I also conducted an
Created using Powtoon.